Today on Brian's Mobile One, we're working on a one Mizva.
That's 3 liters, a 95 Toyota Camry V6. So we're going to be working on the AC compressor. When you look at the AC compressor, one of the telltale signs is that everything's rust colored, and then there's some shiny, glossy, like it's brand new black stuff. That black stuff is a compound that goes in the electromagnetic coil for the clutch. Once it shorts, it gets really hot, and it just goes to crap. All that stuff melts out, and then you know that you need a new AC compressor clutch.
Brian's Mobile One.
Unfortunately, you have to take the whole compressor out in order to get the clutch changed out because you're right up in against the frame rail there. Whenever you take the AC compressor out, you're going to have to pull the lines again. Make sure you get a shop to pull all the refrigerant out of it. This line blocks this bolt, so you got to take the line off to get the bolt out, to get the compressor out to get the clutch. So in order to get everything out, what I do is disconnect the negative battery terminal here, pull out the alternator here, and the reason why is if you touch this, it's just like touching the positive terminal. So if your wrench touches this and anything else that's metal in the engine compartment, sparky, 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 sparky. So we're going to get all that out of the way, and then that will give us an egress. That's not a bird, that's a means of get out for the AC compressor. Follow along at home and let's do this. One other thing, we just wanted to show you that pinstripes are back in. It's like the Prohibition era in mobster suit fashion. We've got a belt that bypasses the AC compressor so that it could get here. You can see it's making a little bit of contact, but good enough. It's just kind of fun because you got these nice little corduroy stripes in it. It's beautiful. As far as getting the belt off, everything's done here with the tensioner. You can see the long bolt back there. So you undo the pivot here, make it loose, get this one loose, and then do the cowboy boogie. Let's do this.
Brian's Mobile One.
So now that we've got the battery undone, we can touch that and whatever else we want without it shocking anything, shorting anything, breaking anything. So I'll pull that off, give it a little wiggle, give a little wiggle, and always let your conscience be your guide. So you pinch this guy this way, and you just kind of got to do it blind on these. And the reason why is you got this, and it says push, which is funny because it's like upside down and backwards where you can't see it, but that causes it to release. And then this guy here, if you look at it, it's got a little tab that you can just flip out this way and pop it open. Just open the door and let it out. I want to make a moo sound as I do that, but that's just a little too cheesy and corny for this. Cool. So once that's free and out of the way, we're just going to go for it. You'll notice that I kind of turned up so that I didn't hit that. It's kind of a rap music move to turn up so that you don't get it. If you use an impact on this one on the bottom, you can get trapped against the sidewall or against the HVAC lines. Given that we're trying to fix it and make it better, not worse, we're just going to be careful with that and make sure that we don't mess it up. My favorite tool for that is to do a stubby gear wrench. It's kind of one of those things you do by braille. It's just sitting on it. Bounce it up and down a whole bunch of times. What's going on in that car? Because this is so hot to touch, my hand's in there doing this bolt and I'm like, ouch. Everything's disconnected, it doesn't matter. Your car's made to get wet. I know a lot of people, it breaks their heart, don't get the alternator wet, it's not going to hurt anything. Getting it wet causes evaporation, that cools it off really quick, and then you can get your hand in there without having to have medical assistance. Every time it rains on the highway, every car on the highway is getting wet. Were it not industry standard for cars to be tested and built to be this way, people would get killed every time it rained. All this dirt in here comes waterborne. It's required or they'd be sitting ducks to be hit. I don't know, there's wives' tales in every aspect of every kind of thing. I'm sure rocket scientists have like wives' tales things that, well, maybe not them because they're smart, but certainly in mechanics, people have all kinds of stuff that they're really ninnies about or have misinformation and fear in place of facts. All right, now looking at the AC compressor, it's like, yeah, that's pretty doable. We can get that out. I did not grab the cap that goes over the nut for the positive output from the alternator. Now it's a lot easier to get. So this is the wire that gets the clutch to come on. You can see some of that glue that we saw on the outside here and on the forefront. And that's, like I say, that's just the resin that goes around the coil so that it doesn't short. You can see that that's a mess. And then when you go to roll this, I mean, it's just coarse and binding and stuck. There's your problem.
Really true.
We gotta get some more Scotty grunts in there. Yeah.
It's sticking so bad. It's good. Let's just put the belt back on.
Yeah, it just needs a new belt. The belt was what was melting, so we'll just put a new one of those on. Do you remember this bolt? I was burning my hand when we were pulling this out of here. So this is the bolt that goes in the bottom here, like that. So you got to watch out when you have this undone. It can flop around. You're like, does it go this way? Does it go that way? Best thing to do, look at the witness marks. It'll tell you which way it goes. You can see the line right there and there. You look on the other side, it's just the bolt marks. As for the bracket on this fine animal, you can either pull it with this one together, or you can pull this off first. It doesn't matter. But there's a nut here and a nut here, and then you've got a bolt here. Then you got the bolts on this side, and you just got to get those pulled out. So this bracket here, you got to move out of the way to get to this bolt. You don't see this bolt, but you will.
12 millimeters.
Yep. So now that I've lifted this up, it's really easy to see that both of these need to go. Just lean into it. Thank heavens we're not in the rust belt, or it'd be a really hard thing. This thing's got low miles and it's been in the desert, so lucky us. I'm gonna have to straighten house a little bit and put that inside of there. These go together with that same bracket with that, and this kind of organize them. Normally I would have them in a magnet dish, but we've got a plastic idiot hood, and that's where I want them, so that's where I put them. We'll throw this right up next to it like it's underlining it or something. I have fun with this. I just kind of like make an art project of it. Tool abuse! Look at that. Everybody's going to be like, that tore it up and it rounded it off, and now you're going to have a real problem on your hands. Nope, it gets it, bam, hits it with a vengeance, or stops, either one, and doesn't hurt it at all. Naysayers and trolls, thanks for your input. Comments help my channel. I know this seems like trade show stuff, but these are secrets of things that I've come up with over years of doing this. It just makes the job a whole lot easier. So you can lock it down to where it's straight, or you can pop it up just a little bit, and it's like a little universal. Let's see if we can grab a win with this. I'm not even in the right zip code. So embarrassed. Now it's on the internet. Did I mention how hot this car is? It's like burning me. So let's double up with some 1-inches. Now bear in mind, when you watch a YouTube auto repair video, and people don't know what they're talking about, and they don't want to tell you anything about how they're failing, like you would in a job like this, we're just going to leave this in here for educational purposes. So with this guy, make sure that it's on really square. We talked about rounding things off as a possibility with the electric ratchet, right? If you have this on a fastener, and I'm going to demonstrate it for you right now, and it's like that, you're asking for a rounded off bolt. Or if it's like that, I mean, like even by hand, that's going to slip. You got to make sure that no matter what the rest of this is doing, you got to make sure that that's on there real square. And that's accomplished by gripping the ratchet here, not here, and kind of creating some downforce on it. So I'm pushing this way along parallel axis, and that just makes it happy to just kind of hang in there. So I've got my finger touching the bolt. I can feel when I'm making contact. But what's going to happen, what's wrong with this situation? I've got sharp bolt ends aimed right at my knuckles, and I'm pushing on something that can break free. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to lose some skin if I keep that up. It's important to be able to spot that stuff before it happens. There we go, got a little break on that. I'm just getting it a tooth at a time. I'm working with a craftsman, but I'm wishing I had a high tooth count gear wrench. It'd make a big difference right here. I haven't bought one yet. Holy crap, that stuff. So I'm going to try getting a little lower on this, see if I can get a better bite on it. It's a little different feeling when you get in a pinch like this and the whole internet's watching you, and you got skin in the game. Whew. There it goes. You gotta be careful with the hose, be careful with the fan motor. Don't burn yourself on the exhaust manifold.
Wow.
I mean, this is like playing Operation, but you're the one that stands to be bleeding. My glove like melted into the AC compressor. Yeah, it's hot. I'm talking like a sinner sweating in church kind of hot. All right, how about now? Woo-hoo, I'm glad I don't have to be moving my arm in. So that bottom one is not a nut. You see I'm shaking it. I don't have Parkinson's. I'm just trying to get it to let go. Oof. Let's look at that. How much damage did we do? We did some damage on this thing, but given it was as stuck as it was, you might have done some damage anyway, and most of it's at the top. Is it rounded off, or is it still a hexagon? It's still a hexagon. It's looking pretty good-ish. I'm a little embarrassed, but given the corrosion factor, it doesn't even look that bad. I was hoping it'd be all white and make me look better. But that's what we got. So we know we've got these fasteners at the top. We've got this nut and we've got this nut. But what about the bolt on the bottom? This is why mechanics hate engineers. There's an AC rail line that directly blocks that. So you got to open the system by pulling this AC line apart and get it out of the way before you can pull the other bolt. And that leaves you wide open to get all kinds of garbage and crud and junk in there. What are we gonna do? Find out in part 2. Stay tuned. It should be up on Wednesday.
Bonus footage at the end.
What's up, brother? That's what I thought. But I thought I'd come in and ask you. I'm a little low myself. I thought you were gonna sneak up on some antelope when that prop stopped.
Yeah, suck.
Dude, that was pretty fun, huh?
That was sick. Yeah.
So does he know you're out of gas?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows.
How much do I have?
You've got quite a bit.
Yeah. I can go get you. I got that trailer. I know how to get here.
Yeah, we could do that, or I don't know if there's a way to siphon gas out of that.
Yeah, as much as I got, let's just do that. My whole tank comes off pretty easy.
Yeah. Stopped working right there.
Just go slow. Don't bump that muffler. This is fun.
Yeah, it is. I knew I was getting close.
You could not have picked a better place to run out of gas.
Yeah, stuck it in the airport. Glad I didn't land by the antelope, and then they chased me down.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
That'd have been gnarly, dude. I bet they'd get right to you and then turn around and run.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd charge you much.
Yeah. That'll probably get me, man.
All right.
Let's give it a whirl.
There you go, my friend. That worked good. I haven't done this in like a real scenario before. I've done it on the beach, you know, just for the heck of it, but that's cool. Well, I'm glad I stopped. That worked out fun. I got you.
Yeah, give it a try.
Might as well. So you're gonna have to prime.
I primed, but I probably need to prime again.
There you go.
Good.
Sweet. Mighty Falcon, look at that. Those guys get in the air quick. I am so careful. I got so much crap that I'm fiddling with. There you go.
Okay. Well, we'll get help you guys, but thank you.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry to be so creepy.
Oh, no,
There you
you're
go.
super creepy.
Yeah, so when I was on this side of the ridge, my gut went.
It's all good, man.
And so I turned around, and then I was like, I'm good, I got this. So then I went and flew around, and I was chasing you guys.
I saw you way high behind us.
And I was way high. I was about, I don't know, maybe 1,500 feet from the towers, and then my gut went. You! I was just like, oh crap! And I turned around, and luckily it was smooth both ways, or else I would have made it.
No big deal, man.
And I got rocked a couple times coming into land, which was weird.